Welcome to Whip Cupids. The noise hits you first. It's a glorious, deafening symphony of internal combustion. Engines aren't just humming, they are positively screaming for attention. A mechanical orchestra playing the song of speed. Then there's the smell. Oh, the smell of hot tires, high-octane fuel, and ambition burning bright. It's a perfume better than anything you'll find in a fancy department store, believe me. This isn't just transport, this is war on wheels, a ballet of brute force and incredible precision. You can feel the vibrations in your chest, a primal thumping that connects you directly to the horsepower being unleashed on the track. It's an assault on the senses in the best possible way, a pure shot of adrenaline. What is it about watching cars, fantastically expensive bits of engineering, being thrashed within an inch of their lives that gets us so hooked? Perhaps it's the sheer, unadulterated speed. Humans, you see, aren't designed to go 200 miles per hour. Our legs are for ambling, maybe a bit of a sprint if a particularly uninviting dog appears. But cars? Cars are built for this. They are metal beasts straining at the leash. And when they're let loose, it's a spectacle of controlled chaos. There's an inherent danger, a constant flirtation with disaster that makes every corner, every overtake, a moment of heart-stopping tension. It's the ultimate test of man and machine working in perfect or sometimes imperfect harmony. It's more than just a procession of fast machines, though. It's strategy, it's skill. It's the culmination of thousands of hours of work by hundreds of clever people in white coats. And then, it all comes down to one person, strapped into a carbon fiber cocoon, making split-second decisions that could mean the difference between glory and a rather large repair bill. They are modern-day gladiators, these drivers, battling not with swords and shields, but with steering wheels and finely tuned engines. Each gear change is a statement, each braking point a calculated risk, each lap a chapter in a high-speed story unfolding before your very eyes. And even if you're just watching, perched on a grandstand or glued to your television, you become part of it. The collective gasp as two cars go wheel to wheel into a hairpin bend, the roar of the crowd as a home favorite crosses the finish line, the shared agony when a leading car coughs, splutters, and then conks out. It's an emotional roller coaster, a shared experience that binds fans together. You pick your heroes, you pick your villains, and for a few hours, nothing else in the world matters, except the drama unfolding on that ribbon of tarmac. It's pure, unadulterated escapism powered by petrol and passion. Car racing wasn't some carefully planned invention. Oh no. It happened because as soon as the second car was built, someone inevitably said, "Mine's faster than yours." And that was that. The first races weren't on fancy purpose-built tracks. They were terrifying dashes from one town to another, on roads designed for horses and carts, not for coughing, spluttering horseless carriages that probably had the stopping power of a startled sheep. Imagine it. No seatbelts, no roll cages, just brave, or possibly madmen wrestling with primitive machines on treacherous public highways. It was a miracle anyone survived, frankly. These early events, like the Paris-Rouen trial in 1894, weren't just about speed. They were about reliability. Could these newfangled contraptions even make it to the finish line? Many, of course, didn't. They broke down, they caught fire, they got stuck in ditches, but the spirit was there. The desire to push these machines to their limits and then a bit further was infectious. It was pioneering stuff, laying the groundwork for the sophisticated sport we see today. People were fascinated by this new technology and the daring individuals who piloted them across countries facing dust, mud, and often bewildered livestock. Then, things started to get a bit more organized. People realized that racing on public roads, while exciting, was also monumentally dangerous for everyone involved, including startled onlookers. So dedicated circuits began to appear. Brooklands in England, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in America, these were temples of speed, banked ovals and specially constructed road courses where cars could truly stretch their legs without worrying about oncoming traffic or a sudden herd of cows. Technology also started to gallop ahead. Engines got bigger, tires got grippier, and designers began to understand a little thing called aerodynamics, which is a fancy word for making cars slippery through the air. This evolution wasn't always smooth. There were tragedies, of course. Speed has a nasty habit of biting back if you don't respect it. But with each setback, lessons were learned. Safety improved, slowly at first, then more rapidly. Rules were written, governing bodies were formed, and different disciplines of racing began to branch out, each with its own unique flavor and set of challenges. From those first chaotic city-to-city dashes, a global sporting phenomenon was born. captivating millions with its blend of engineering prowess, human bravery, and the sheer unadulterated thrill of going very, very fast. It's a journey from crude to cutting edge. Some racetracks are just names on a map, others are legends. Think of Monaco. It's absurd. A tiny, twisty ribbon of tarmac clinging to a cliffside, surrounded by eye-wateringly expensive yachts and casinos. Racing there is like trying to thread a very fast needle in a very small room filled with very expensive Ming vases. Then there's Le Mans, the 24 hours of Le Mans. An endurance epic. Drivers battle fatigue, darkness, and mechanical gremlins for an entire day and night. Winning Le Mans isn't just about being fast, it's about survival, strategy, and a team working like a well-oiled, sleep-deprived machine. These places are more than just tracks, they are hallowed ground for motorsport fans. And on this hallowed ground, unforgettable moments are made. Who can forget the 1970 Targa Florio, where Leo Kinnunen, co-driving a Porsche 9083, set a blistering pace on public roads so dangerous they make modern circuits look like playpens. Or consider the sheer dominance of Audi at Le Mans in the early 2000s, changing the game with their diesel-powered prototypes. Specific duels also stick in the mind: Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost. Their rivalry so intense it practically crackled with electricity, pushing each other to, and sometimes beyond, the absolute limit. These aren't just races, they are sagas filled with drama, heroism, and sometimes heartbreak. Speaking of heroes, Ayrton Senna. The name itself evokes a kind of reverence. The Brazilian maestro wasn't just fast, he was mesmerizing. His car control, especially in the wet, was almost supernatural. He could make a racing car dance, coaxing speed from it that others simply couldn't find. 3 Formula One World Championships, countless pole positions, and a fierce determination made him an icon. His tragic death at Imola in 1994 cast a long shadow, but his legacy as one of the purest, most gifted racers ever to grip a steering wheel remains undiminished. He inspired a generation and continues to inspire racers today. Then you have someone like Michael Schumacher. 7 Formula One World Championships. Think about that. 7. The German was a winning machine, a relentless pursuer of perfection. He rewrote the record books with Ferrari, creating a dynasty that dominated the sport for years. His dedication, his fitness, his technical understanding, and his sheer will to win were unparalleled in his era. Or jump across the pond to NASCAR, and you find legends like Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator. His aggressive style and never-say-die attitude made him a hero to millions, a tough, uncompromising figure who embodied the spirit of stock car racing. These drivers are more than just sportsmen, they are legends. The brilliant thing about car racing is its sheer variety. It's not just one thing. Take Formula One, for example. This is the pinnacle, the absolute cutting edge of motorsport technology. These cars are basically fighter jets on wheels, festooned with wings and clever aerodynamic bits that suck them to the ground. The speeds are mind-boggling, the G-forces are bone-crushing, and the drivers are athletes of the highest caliber. It's a global circus, traveling the world to race on some of the most challenging and glamorous circuits ever conceived. It's chess at 200 miles per hour, a blend of high-tech engineering and high-stakes driving. Then, for something completely different, you have NASCAR. Over in America, they like their racing close, loud, and preferably on ovals. Stock cars, they call them, though they're about as stock as my garden shed is a spaceship. These big, heavy beasts thunder around banked tracks, often inches apart, for hundreds of laps. It's a spectacle of drafting, bump drafting, and relentless pressure. The skill is in managing your tires, your fuel, and your nerve, especially when you're in a pack of 40 cars all wanting the same piece of tarmac. It's a uniquely American phenomenon and utterly captivating in its own brawling way. But wait, there's more. Fancy watching cars slide sideways through forests, kicking up gravel and snow? That'll be rallying. Drivers and their incredibly brave co-drivers tackle timed stages on closed public roads, battling the elements and the terrain. It's a test of incredible car control and pinpoint navigation. Or perhaps endurance racing is your cup of tea, like the aforementioned Le Mans, where teams race for 6, 12, or even 24 hours, pushing cars and drivers to their absolute limits of reliability and stamina. And let's not forget drag racing, the purest explosion of speed over in a flash. The list goes on. Touring cars, sports cars, single-seaters of all shapes and sizes. So what makes it all so enduringly appealing, so addictive? It's the speed, obviously. That raw, visceral thrill is hard to beat. But it's also the competition, the human drama, the constant evolution of technology. It's the heroes behind the wheel, pushing themselves and their machines to the very edge. Car racing taps into something fundamental: our love of a good contest, our fascination with machines, and our admiration for skill and bravery. It's a sport that's constantly reinventing itself, yet its core appeal remains the same as it was on those dusty roads over a century ago. Who can get from here to there the fastest? And that, quite simply, is brilliant. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, why do you love car racing?